Welcome back. Today, we're looking at a masterpiece that is much more than just a religious scene. Painted around 1469 by the Pollaiuolo brothers, this work captures a massive tradition in 15th century Florence. The moment the next generation learns how to take care of the family business. In the Renaissance, if you were the son of a wealthy merchant or banker, your graduation wasn't a ceremony. It was a journey. You were sent across Europe to learn the trade, handle the money, and face the world. This painting, Tobias and the Angel, was basically the visual mascot for every nervous father sending his son off on his first business trip. But let's know more about it.
Welcome to Story Behind the Painting, where we dive into the most famous art routes and learn a lot from that.
So what's actually happening here? The story comes from the Book of Tobit. Young Tobias is sent by his blind father to collect a debt in a distant city. Look closely at what Tobias is carrying. It's a small roll of parchment. In the 1400s, this wasn't just a letter. It was a bill of exchange. This was the high-tech financial tool of the time that allowed bankers to move huge sums of money without carrying heavy bags of gold that would attract robbers. The journey was dangerous. You had to cross the Alps or navigate bandit-filled forests. That's why he isn't alone. He's accompanied by Archangel Raphael, the angel of safe conduct. It's a beautiful metaphor. The young apprentice guided by the wisdom of experience. The painting depicts a youth and an angel traveling through a hilly river landscape. This represents a rite of initiation or a mission of trust. He represents the next generation. In the 15th century, he was a relatable figure for young Florentines from banking families who were sent abroad to learn the family business. Often called the angel of safe conduct, he symbolizes divine protection and mentorship. He is the heavenly double of Tobias. Note the striking similarity in their faces, suggesting that every person has a guardian twin. Tobias is seen carrying a fish in his left hand, while the angel holds a small tin. The fish. Literally, it refers to the creature that attacked Tobias in the river Tigris. Symbolically, it represents Christ, based on the Greek acrostic ichthys. It also served as a signature or symbol of validity in mercantile culture. The tin of gall. Raphael is often referred to as Raphael Medicinalis, the healer. The tin contains the fish's gall, a salve used to cure the blindness of Tobias's father. This symbolizes restoration and the opening of eyes, both physically and spiritually. The clothing in the painting is incredibly detailed, reflecting the Pollaiuolo brothers' background as goldsmiths and the economic power of Florence. Luxury fabrics. Tobias wears a crimson jacket, tall leather boots, and a doublet lined with white fabric. These are the latest Florentine fashions. Symbolism of success. The use of gold brocade, velvet, and silk on the angel and Tobias isn't just for show. It signaled the prosperity of the wool and silk guilds of Florence. It suggests that material success and spiritual devotion go hand in hand. Small details in the painting speak to the professional life of a Florentine merchant. The parchment, bill of exchange. The small roll of parchment in Tobias's hand is a symbol of the world of finance. It represents a bill of exchange, a document used by bankers to transfer money safely between cities like Florence and London. The little dog. Walking ahead of the pair is a small, fluffy dog. In art history, the dog represents fidelity and loyalty. essential traits for a young man being trusted with the family's wealth and reputation. The background depicts the Arno Valley stretching behind Tobias. Local connection. By placing a biblical story in a recognizable Tuscan landscape, the artists made the divine story feel immediate and local. It suggested that God's protection was active right there in the hills of Florence. The artists, Antonio and Piero del Pollaiuolo, were the ultimate power duo of the Florentine art world. They weren't just painters, they were trained goldsmiths. You can see that expertise in every inch of this canvas. Notice the way the light hits the velvet and silk. They used a new technique involving translucent oil glazes to make the fabrics look like they're actually shimmering. And check out the dog, a symbol of fidelity. It's painted with such detail you can almost feel the fur. These brothers were obsessed with making things look realer than real, showcasing the luxury goods that Florence was famous for exporting all over the world. The name Pollaiuolo wasn't actually their last name, it was the nickname. Their father was a successful poultry seller. Pollaio means hen coop in Italian, in the markets of Florence. While their father dealt in chickens, the brothers had bigger ambitions. They split into two paths that would later merge into a legendary partnership. Antonio, the older brother, trained as a goldsmith. He spent his early years working with precious metals, which is why his paintings have that jewel-like precision and metallic shimmer. Piero, the younger brother, trained specifically as a painter. He brought the colour and the large-scale composition skills to the table. The Pollaiuolo workshop was the Silicon Valley of its day. They didn't just paint, they experimented with new tech. The oil revolution. At a time when most Italian artists were still using egg tempera, which dries flat and matte, the Pollaiuolos were among the first to experiment with oil paints. This is why the clothes in Tobias and the Angel look so lush and translucent. Anatomical outlaws. According to legend and the historian Vasari, the brothers were the first to perform human dissections to understand how muscles worked. They didn't want to just paint a man, they wanted to paint the tension of the skin over a flexing bicep. Their major contributions to art have been human anatomy in motion. Before them, figures often looked like stiff statues. Antonio's obsession with strained muscles influenced everyone who came after, including Michelangelo. The aerial landscape. They were some of the first to paint high vantage point landscapes, like the river valley behind Tobias. It gave their paintings a cinematic, drone shot feel that was revolutionary. The world's first influential print. Antonio created an engraving called The Battle of the Nudes. It was the first time an artist used a print to show off their skill to the whole of Europe. It became a must-have reference for every artist in the Renaissance. Now, about that fish. It seems like a weird travel souvenir, right? In the story, this fish tries to attack Tobias, but the angel tells him to catch it and save its gall and liver. In the medical world of the 15th century, Raphael was known as Raphael Medicinalis. The fish gall in that tiny tin the angel is holding was used to cure Tobias's father's blindness. But for the people watching this in the 1460s, the fish was also a code. The Greek word for fish, ichthys, was an acronym for Jesus Christ, Son of God, Saviour. So while the painting looks like a travel scene, it's telling the viewer, go out there and build your legacy. But remember, your success is only as strong as the values that guide you back home. What I love about this painting is how human it is. It represents that universal bridge between being a kid and becoming an adult with responsibilities.
Whether it was a Florentine teen in 1469 carrying a bill of exchange or someone today heading off to their first big internship, the feeling is the same. That mix of excitement, fear, and the need for a mentor to show you the way. The Pollaiuolo brothers didn't just paint a Bible story, they painted the weight of expectations. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and feel free to share with your friends. If you like art and culture, you might like to know about our app Muzea, available on Google Play and App Store.
Welcome to Story Behind the Painting, where we dive into the most famous art routes and learn a lot from that.